like play kind of for the long term, where they don't want to reveal too much if they do have any kind of secrets, because they are going to be versing stronger opponents down the line. But definitely not a matchup they can take too easily.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, they can play Alchemist. Oh my goodness, it's so unbelievable. But yeah, it's not something that you expect. Wow, pretty much the same draft when they're going up against A teams. They've got sort of a bottom barrel stomper pick as Monster gets gone on right at the start. Can they bring him down? Yes, Moo gets the kill, though Lies doing a ton of damage with that Blade Fury. Already a hell of a lot of damage being thrown out as Lies getting chased, almost going down, but he does manage to escape.
They have another battle strike in 7 seconds. Oh, they got the Venom for sure. Well, I say for sure, but we'll see. Just kidding.
Okay. PD walks back in. Yeah, where's everybody bottom? Aikster just finds the kill on the fear.
Mars is like, those are my bounty runes.
Oh, wait a minute. Aikster's going to get this one as well. So that looks like it's going to be 5ManMidas picking up 3 runes for 1. Not bad.
I tell you, these underdog teams with their 5-man smoke plays at level 1, we're seeing it a lot, and they're working a lot. It makes me wonder, like, why aren't the, you know, the EGs, the Quincy crews and stuff doing these kind of plays? Because they often lead to a kill or two. They often lead to getting multiple bounty runes, and that's a good start for 5ManMidas.
Totally. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like, I think that everybody just sort of anticipates that, okay, you know, these teams are just going to get stomped. They're not going to have a chances. Actually, RRL is brought down really low in the mid lane. Has to bring out a salve for himself. But I think that there's something to be said for, like, when you have a lot of different eyes looking at Dota and trying to figure it out, there's going to be, like, more rapid development of, you know, interesting ideas like that early smoke rotation.
Yep. Puts him in a decent spot, but it does look like mid lane is going to be tough for Puck, and this is definitely one of the strengths of this early Monkey King pick, is the ability to flex it to these other lanes. So even when Monkey King didn't have a bad lane in the safe lane, they just recognize there's nothing to pressure the Alchemist. This Alchemist pick, I think, is really clever just because 5ManMidas don't really have a very fast tempo draft.
Yeah, and so many heroes. The Sneyking is just going to TP away up top, managing to get back to base. It's interesting, right? Because it feels like it counters so many of their different heroes. Like Veno's gonna do nothing. Puck doesn't really have the damage. Like, it feels like it's gonna maybe come down to just Jug being huge to deal with the Alk.
Absolutely agreed. And it's like, how do you keep up with an Alk? If this Alk doesn't get pressured early, Jug's gonna be really far behind. So he has got a Battle Fury queued up, not going for any kind of pseudo farming Maelstrom. He just wants the full hard carry late game scaling that the Battle Fury provides early on.
Okay. See if it works out. It doesn't feel like there's that many other options, and then it's going to be down to, you know, what can these other heroes do in the meantime?
Really what matters more is going to be what happens in the, you know, the time he's farming up towards the Battle Fury. They need to at least stay even on gold. They can't afford to fall behind. They need to pressure the Alk if they're stacks. So definitely keep an eye out for Sadboys around that kind of 10-minute mark, trying to set up Alk for success by just stacking their whole jungle.
We'll keep our eyes on that one. If there's a quick little runaway that happens from PBD, we'll keep our eyes on it. Meantime, we keep on getting these pulls back coming from Aikster. He's trying to draw the creep wave away, at least whenever he can, and do some cutoffs, it looks like. As Monster's going to throw out that spear onto Fear. Missed the pull that time.
So far this lane stage, not looking too good for 5ManMidas. Top 3 CS all on the Radiant side. And this is an area in that pre-game interview they talked about. They felt like the laning stage was their strength. They go even or ahead on laning stage, but the problem here is more just the picks and draft hasn't been for the lanes. Mid lane RL just gets solo killed by DNM. I'm just watching this, I'm like, I think he's gonna die, and he just took too many right clicks and orbed aggressively for a creep rather than saving the orb.
Yeah, and the phase shift being used, I mean, kind of had to save that one, but if you save it, you're dead anyways. But yeah, I think the orb just being down is what you're talking about. That orb of venom from Monkey King coming into play. So a really rough start to the laning stage right now for 5ManMidas as they're behind in all 3 CS and then also lose a kill.
Snaking's doing a good job pressuring top like that. Spin where he TP'd out really helps the lane because you're just forcing them to chew through their mana and regen, and you come back to lane with more regen. So they're just kind of winning the war of attrition up top.
And they're gonna find Shu in the jungle yet again. Sneyking chasing him down back, and also got the courier kill for all he's worth.
He doesn't have much mana. There's a regen rune. Looks like Puck is going to orb his way over there.
DNM is not afraid at all. He's like really not tripping.
Yeah, I don't think they can fight him. Even with 2 heroes there, if they fight him, they just give him free Jingu. He gets the Jingu, he hits a 2-hero boundless strike, and he's full health. So you can't win that 1v2. I think Earth Spirit, yeah, it's good that he secures the rune. If Monkey King got like a double damage or something, it would have been a disaster. But ultimately, he probably shouldn't be playing around this mid lane at this stage.
I'm very impressed with DNM so far. Like, I think it's one thing to be like winning a lane, but it's another to sort of be oppressive like this and say like, you can't deal with me. I'm gonna constantly be in your face and trying to mess with you. It's top lane. A little bit of a roll in comes. They're able to find Sneyking right at the start. That will be a kill. Moo, on the other hand, getting chased down a little bit here. We'll have another anchor smash. And he is a big tanky Tidehunter. The watermelon just gonna walk away.
Yep. This will lead to some bounty runes being picked up. It looks like 3 out of 4 again gonna go 5ManMidas' way. So good timing from the move from Aikster. It looked like he was kind of unsure for the last 2 minutes which lane to play. He went mid, he went top, kind of sat around, finally just went for a single smoke. He just smoked himself up, found a kill as the bounty rune spawned. So I like the play just because it secures the bounty runes.
And finding stuff whenever you can, really important here. They're coming back top again. There is a ward in the area, but it's not quite the other one might have spotted the Earth Spirits. They might know that he's here.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a tough kill.
Yeah, Moo is very tanky, and Sneyking is just kind of gonna be sitting behind him. So while the Jug can look to spin through this, they look like they're waiting for the Jug's level 5.
Okay,
he didn't get it though.
Well, pushes back.
Okay,
and
it might be no.
He's still got sick charges. They're bringing in the Monkey King now.
Yeah.
There's the Earth Spike, the chase down, and another boundless strike is available here as he hits onto Shu, hits onto Lies. DNM makes that big rotation, and yeah, they punish that heavy.
Yeah, really nice move. You'd expect the Puck to be the 2 heroes out of the mid laners to make the first kind of aggressive rotations, but DNM with such a good start is just like, well, I've now got multiple points in tree dance. I'm actually pretty mobile. He's just getting active. We'll get back to mid lane in time to defend his tower as well, which is much needed because of the siege creep coming.
Well played, definitely. And just doing a good job overall right now. I think Sadboys reading the temperature of the room. They are going to go into fear and try and make something happen here. Monster has the arena down. They bring in RL. If they could get this kill, it would be huge. The coil and the snap, and that's enough. Yeah. So 5ManMidas hanging on a little bit here with that level 6 rotation.
Yeah, Puck taking a page from DNM's book. Like, okay, these TP rotations, when there's no creep wave pressuring your tower, a great idea. You get a kill on a core, ideally, and then you just back off. So Jug dies, Alk dies, both teams losing their carry to a TP rotation from the mid laners. And similar to DNM, RL's back, no pressure on the mid tower, no damage taken. So good moves from both mid laners.
And you can see Fear after losing his life is just gonna be like, all right guys, I'm out of here, I'm heading back to the jungle. Aren't any stacks for him though, and only sitting there with the perseverance and a couple of stat oriented items. He's not gonna be farming the fastest in the world.
Yeah, it's not. Finds a neutral item, but yeah, not the easiest time for him. He may just have to do some stacks for himself. This does give, PPD the safe lane to get some levels, but Undying's not that kind of like coddle or tree and protector where you can really take advantage of having that safe lane to yourself. So I think if you're 5ManMidas, you're okay with this and you're not feeling like you have to go pressure the Alk right away.
Right. Ooh, that trusty shovel though. It's one of the better Alk ones.
Definitely nice. He's not going to hold it for himself, but just having it on the Alk team is always feels good.
True. Well,
and there are some stacks being built around the triangle now. It looks like Sneyking's starting to do some of that, as DNM getting active once again. Knowing that his job as Monkey King isn't to play that traditional carry, it's his job to basically enable the Alk to carry the game. So he's going to be playing a very aggressive style of Monkey King. I wouldn't expect to see him go for any kind of like super late game scaling items necessarily. He's going to be looking to fight.
And this ward scouting out that rotation up there means that you can get out, at least for the moment, on the Juggernaut. They're going to head down bottom, try and get a little bit of counter pressure going as they roll in. They find themselves PPD, and well, they do have the chase down if they want it. They're keeping in with the Tide, actually, who has Ravage available, but won't be able to make anything happen there. They do keep their tower alive, though.
Yep, they're going to go in Monster.
want to find that kill, gushes out onto him, and I think that he just needs to sort of give up his life at this point. Maybe not. Maybe a chance to get away. No, DMM was there.
DMM had the phase boot, so a lot of chase potential. And yeah, interesting call from Sadboys, making the TP response. You know, often teams will just be like, okay, they 4-man dove our bottom tier 1 to kill our 5 position, let's just let them die, but they get the counter kill and they kill a core, so not a bad move, especially because Sneyking just happily stays top working on his level 6. So I think Sadboys just doing a really good job of making the most out of the resources available on the map, never committing too many heroes to one lane, making sure their supports get a little XP and farm, making sure that, you know, the Alk is continuing to just free from the jungle. So just good resource management coming in from Sadboys.
And I guess anything that slows down the game a little bit too is really good for them. Like, you know, not losing towers and getting the map shut down at all for fear. Anything that just allows him to do whatever he wants. And this is what they want to be doing as well. And at least for now, it looks like they're going to be sticking Shu solo up top. Only 1 point in these plague wards, actually.
Yeah, that's free money for Alk. I'm not sure about summoning those plague wards when Alk is around.
Yeah, that might need to stop happening.
Yeah, this Alk just
stops it.
He farms a triple stack plus some Venom wards. Fear is, you know, he's happy right now.
It's Battle Fury done. Last pro game on Alk was 2014. Wow.
Big Oss, that's a name you haven't heard in a while.
I don't know if I've ever heard that name. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, he's like an old school Dota 1 pro. He was like one of the most famous Dota 1 players, I would say. He was like, I don't know, he was like the Arteezy of Dota 1. Maybe not the Arteezy, he was more flashy.
Was he getting clipped too? Is that what I'm hearing here?
No.
All right, we got a little bit of a battle breaking out down bottom here. Monster drops down the arena, didn't manage to hit the spear afterwards. And is just gonna try and run away, but I think that this guy is dead and everybody else is gonna give him up for dead. We'll take him on a walk first though. Lowest death ever.
Let's go spear. Buy some more time.
Nice. Nailed it.
Yeah. Force PPD to secure the kill, you know.
Radiant's middle tower.
But yeah, this Alk is definitely gonna be concerning. It doesn't feel like Jug is kept up nearly well enough. They're trying to invade his triangle, but it feels like even if they smoke and kill him once, it just feels like the damage has already been done. Like, yeah, it's nice, you still want to do that, don't get me wrong, but you've kind of already lost the farm war against the Alk.
Right. Lies at this point doesn't have his Battle Fury done, and you know, every minute that's going on subsequently, Fear is just going to be accelerating in farm like crazy. And at least for now, needing to sort of hold out hope, I guess, try and shut down map wherever you can and take down these tier 1 towers, but they're not going to give it to him easy.
This is where the Alk last pick was so good. It wasn't that they wanted to send the monkey mid, it was just that there was nothing to answer the Alchemist with the lower pace of game we're seeing from 5ManMidas. It's all up to the puck to make these plays. Who's to travel R up, so definitely expect RL to kind of play a lane by himself and be ready to kind of TP somewhere else on the map. He wants to basically play, he wants his teammates to play as aggressively as possible. That's what we're going to see now. They're going to go for a smoke move with 3 heroes.
And Lie's actually going to TP out of there just right at the last second up top. So there's a potential that they could find somebody here. If they can get Fear, who's behind the tier 1 tower, this would be huge. I don't know if he's leaving. He's heading to the triangle now. Yep. Just like that, the smoke's going to fail.
Yeah, very hard to... Because this tier 1 mid tower is still up, it just makes it really hard. Like, ideally, if that tier 1 mid's there, they just go right into that enemy triangle, but the tier 1 mid just makes it so hard to take over the enemy side of the map. So really good job by Sadboys to keep this tower alive.
And this is Moo's job. He just sits here and you can't go on him. Like, it's impossible. I think that's part of the reason why it's so good holding onto that Ravage down bottom from Moo as well. Like, this just keeps that tower alive. Although they will lose the tower bottom, as Lies takes that one out and DMN takes the top tower.
Yeah, that's the tower I think Sadboys just don't care as much about. They're also getting the trades up top. They're farming the enemy lane. They've taken the enemy top tier 1. So just prioritizing the middle and top side of the map as you generally see Radiant sides do. And we're going to see if these teams will clash over this mid lane. It does feel like 5ManMidas just need to try and force this mid tier 1 tower. They had the smoke kind of towards mid with the Venom. I would have liked to have seen them go for a tier 1 tower play. Like you say, the problem is just that it's mood. Do you really want to go on a Tide and get 3-4-man Ravage potentially? Not really. I think you can only go on that mid tier 1 tower if you bring the Jug, because he's the one who can kill the Tide with either Blade Fury or Omni Slash without being afraid of a Ravage.
Right. And even that, it's not like it's a guaranteed thing either. Like, you know, he's gone for this Battle Fury build, and granted, he does have some extra damage coming out from, you know, those 2 components, but
yeah,
it's not anything that, you know, Moo is terribly afraid of right now, sitting at 7 armor. As RL drops the coil as they chase him up top. Good jump away there in the jaunt, or rather the phase shift.
Did force him to waste the Dream Coil just to save his own life, however, and RL will farm some extra creeps before TPing out, but looks like the move may be towards bottom lane where Sneyking is just farming up below this tier 2 tower. They're going to TP and respond there.
Well, they're already going to lose 1, but the Ravage comes out afterwards. Sneyking on to 3. Is he actually going to live through the whole thing?
Oh, the last
my god, just barely able to find that finish. So a 2 for 1 though, and losing the Jug is terrible.
Yeah, just Sadboys are ready for it. The Tide being the first to TP in, had the boots to travel, so easy Ravage for him. And yeah, Sneyking's probably like, man, I was so close to living there.
Oh, where's your pipe Tide? Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Moo with the lot of farm and very high impact on this game without getting kills or pushing towers. It's just being this big fat Tide blob, just sits in front of a lane, and nobody wants to ever go lane against this Tide because of how tanky he is. Top lane again, RL.
Get a couple quick punches in, leaves him in the trees, and no way to break that TP. So he will manage to escape.
A little bit too far away to connect on that one.
Speaking of the blob again, Moo is there, and there's not really a great way to pressure this one. I guess maybe with 2 points of healing ward? I don't know.
Yeah, they've realized they just have to bring the Jug in, which is, you know, the right idea, but it's also the wrong idea because you want this Jug to farm his Battle Fury. This Jug, the reason he hasn't come mid is he probably keeps telling the team, like, I gotta farm my Battle Fury. This Alk's free farming. The only way we can win is if I out carry him, but at the same time, I think the rest of the team is saying, we gotta take this mid tier 1 tower. If we don't do that, we have no chance, so... They find a compromise. Jug comes in, takes a tower, and he's back to farming. But yeah, realistically, Lies just has to get this Battle Fury up as soon as possible and just keep on farming.
And by the time that's done, I mean, Fear is already, what is this now? Like 5,000 gold ahead of the Jug. Like he is a whole item ahead. And
he's double his net worth. It's getting ugly.
This is without that much battling going on. A 6,000 gold lead here at 16 minutes. A BKB now done for DNM2. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I talked about him just enabling the Alk and going for a fighting build, and it's a first item BKB of all items. Totally okay with this. I don't think there's anything else he really needs. Doesn't need to go for the full carry item, so... They're looking to take this top tier 2 tower. I think they know, you know, it's like we're doing really well. The Alk's free farm, and we're kind of stomping this game. Let's try and take a tier 2 tower before 20-minute marks. You know, that's like the real beatdown when you can get the double outpost.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Puck doing a good job of holding on to top lane.
Well, they cut that wave again. I mean, it's always unfortunate when this is what you're sort of resorting to. It's just cutting waves before they can get to the tower. But at the same time, you know, you got to do it to slow down the game whenever possible.
Good news, a kind of slow, low-action game, and you get a Philosopher's Stone, so Dire side will be happy about that one. A game like this, Philosopher's... Oh, top lane,
yeah, that's a problem, and Sneyking just finishes him off. It was always going to happen.
Exactly. They've just been baiting. DNM's caught him without the orb a few times. This was just the first time he had Sneyking there ready to go, so heads up play by Sadboys.
Dire's top tower is under
Here
attack.
again, farming in the safer places in the map. Gonna head on up towards the top and actually just head into Roche. Interesting. With the Flesh Golem, they're gonna decide that this is the time to try and go in on it.
Yeah. Why not, I guess? They've got the minus armor from Gush and Acid. They've got the damage amp.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It does look like this is going to be an uncontested Roche. Puck is respawned with Boot to Travel, but they seem to not even be worried about that one. They even dropped down the Tombstone to make sure this goes smoothly.
Yeah, I realize there's no way to contest that one. So Fear now has an Aegis here at the 18-minute mark. And I mean, killing this guy twice just feels like a ridiculously hard thing to do. I am a little bit concerned that we're seeing like double blink daggers coming out from RRL and the Mars. Like on the one hand, yeah, you can jump on people, but I feel like they're going to be knocking on high ground pretty much, and blink doesn't help that much at that point.
Yeah, I know PPD talked about in one of the casts where it's just like, you know, blink's kind of this double-edged sword where you invest a lot of gold in this item that, you know, in an actual fight, it doesn't actually make you stronger or do a whole lot. I mean, it lets you initiate, so theoretically if you can get a kill off of it, but in the actual fight it doesn't make you stronger.
Right.
So
I guess maybe finding the back line or something. Oh no, Sneyking. Got him again.
Follow up, yep.
Oh,
Found the strike there too. It's good.
They tried it. It would have been good if they could have lived a second longer, but it didn't happen. And now magnetized arena drop down, but Sadboys will not be denied. Oof, man.
You know, at least BKB on the Monkey King, that's his 10-second being popped, but Sadboys with full control of his top lane. It was just the one kill, so Sadboys can bring a lot, but when it's the Jug, it's the one hope for a comeback. That's why they don't mind committing all those ultimates and BKBs. They're going to get a tier 2 tower. Doesn't look like they'll get the outpost in time, and 5ManMidas doing what they can to snag a few bounty runes.
Courier kill on its way out too. Not bad, not bad. And as you said, being able to hang on to that outpost, trying to hang on to something in this game. I mean, it's a huge net worth lead. Maybe you could string together a couple of kills as Sadboys spread out and get a little bit complacent. Like that's maybe where the blink daggers could be good too. Is you like find maybe a, you know, random Sneyking running around somewhere, blow him up.
Yeah, I think they recognize they can't team fight, which is why, you know, blinks sometimes don't help you team fight because they don't make you stronger, but they are very good at finding pickoffs around the map. So they're going to be looking to kill stragglers. You mentioned Sneyking. Any kills they can get, they want to slow down the push by basically fighting and picking off people who are not with the basically the ball that is pushing down these lanes, the mid lane, the top lane. They want to just catch stragglers.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And cutways that we just saw there from Puck pulling the whole catapult out of the area. And Monster in the meantime down bottom, he's got some pretty good damage onto this tier 2 tower. So I guess this is the thing to me that I like about 5ManMidas is that even though they're like really far behind, you can tell that they know what they need to do in this situation.
Yeah, they understand the position they're in. It's a very desperate one, and it feels, you know, not totally hopeless, but very hard for them to get back into this game. But they're making the right calls. Now they go for a group smoke. They're going to find one of those stragglers. It's PPD on the Undying.
This is an important kill here. Any kill is important at this point. Most reasonably because Aikster now gets some Spirit Vessel charges.
True. Yeah, you're playing against this Alchemist who doesn't have a BKB or anything. Get the Spirit Vessel charges. Buy time for this Aegis to expire. You're definitely not winning any fight into a Alch with 2 lives, so they just want to stall out this game. By the time PPD respawns, this Aegis is only going to have like a minute and a half left on it. So at that point, you're like, okay, they got an Aegis, but they didn't ever really threaten our high ground. We're still alive. That's what counts for 5MI. Staying alive in this game and waiting for a mistake or just somebody kind of step out of position.
No. You know, punish that as hard as you can when you get that opportunity. A smoke up comes now from Sadboys. This is also going to be an Aghanim Shard delivered to the Alch right as they move in. So now he's got like this double dispel action going on that he can use on himself or an ally. And well, they find the Jug right at the start. That one really hurts, but trying to turn this around, it's not going to happen. Monster not able to save his carry, and Fear with the double kill. He is online.
Yeah, Monster blinked in with the arena, but he blinked into a stun as well, which was unlucky for him. And now, still 50 seconds left on this Aegis. That was kind of the one small window for Sadboys to still make it go with the Aegis, and 5ManMidas were just playing too aggressive on the map. They've been doing everything kind of the correct way, I feel like, up until then, while playing from behind. But getting caught out is going to give a easy high ground push to Sadboys. I believe they'll get at least a tier 3 tower here if they want to commit to it with Fierce double lives. But they are going to back off and play it safe. Okay.
Now the outposts as well. So with everybody respawning, I mean, yeah, it sucks to lose your Jug, but at the same time, like getting some objectives around the rest of the map, it's not terrible.
Yeah, it feels like Sadboys are playing maybe slightly too conservatively, but at the same time, I think this is a good sign that, you know, they're kind of honed in today. They're not taking any opponent too lightly. They're really respecting 5ManMidas, not trying to force a high ground push. Happy to kind of slow roll this game, not go for any kind of, you know, let's just dive enemy base and force a fight and you know, try and take a Rax. Let's just back off, play for even later game. We're so far ahead that we're not in a rush to end this game.
Right. Yeah, just play it safe, definitely. And I mean, at least for now, if you're 5ManMidas, there's an opportunity where Alk doesn't have Aegis. He is getting towards that heart. 3,000 HP, man. He is a tough cookie to crack. That is going to be a rough one. They really need some minus armor to work with him. Because, I mean, the plus side is that Alk going this build, he doesn't actually have that much armor, only 9.
Yeah,
like
you often see the Assault Crest picked up in there, but yeah, he is going for that full-on health regen build. We'll need a way to deal with the Spirit Vessel, it feels.
Right. And that is where, you know, I think the Aghanim Shard can help with it, but you know, silence, that doesn't help. Aikster, Hext, chase down, try to turn it. Okay, stun.
Radiant's courier has been
He's coming out of it immediately, though. Stats distance is pretty freaking good. Monster gonna get hit there by the Abyssal Blade, and Fear just laying into them. His shoe, ooh, barely able to get out of that one.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised Monster's first reaction to his Earth Spirit being jumped is, I'm going to blink in an arena. I feel like if you're a 5ManMidas, your mentality has to be right now, avoid any team fight, avoid any team fight. And the second the smoke breaks and they jump him, it should just be, your first reaction has to be, everybody get out. If you can live, just live. And I think Monster, you know, he just blinks into the trees and TP's out there and you're fine. They just need to cut their losses. There was no hope of any kind of a team fight there. And I think that's where some of the inexperience is shown with 5ManMidas. I think, you know, even the best teams in the world, your Team Secrets, your PGs, whoever it may be, they have these games where they're down 10, 15k gold, it feels hopeless, and they maybe claw their way back in. The way you do that is by making the right call in every situation, and right there, some of Monster's inexperience is showing.
It's like poker, right? Like, you know, you go all in when you got aces, not when you're, you know, sitting with offsuit something terrible.
Yeah, that's perfect, actually. Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. Find your right hand and then play it the best you can.
Exactly. They're just gonna keep folding until they, you know, those aces come along right now. But at this point, you know, they're running out of chips and they may just have to go in without aces, you know.
Yeah, it's true. RL
get a face card and all in.
He's got Witch's Blade. I mean, there's like some little things that feel like they, you know, are extra damage, can deal with everybody except for the Alk. And so maybe there's like a point where you could go and just, you know, try and focus down the rest of him and let Fear do what he's gonna do. But that's gonna be a tough one.
I think they feel like they're ready. It's less about the Aegis timing for Sadboys and more about this Heart plus SMY timing, it seems. We saw this last time I think they played Alchemist. They get this Heart plus SMY and Fear's just unkillable on the high ground. 250 health regen per second.
Right next to him is just Moo doing the exact same thing. Not at all concerned as they take down these wards one by one. How do you initiate on this? With the Tombstone dead maybe in a second here, that could help. And they're summoning more of the wards. There are a lot of Plague Wards out there. Oh, Arena dropped down, able to get that stun. Meanwhile, the Venom ulti didn't connect onto everybody that they wanted. Omni Slash blows up PPD, then the spin away afterwards. And wow, they break the TP. Oh, big Ravage comes through there at the end. They thought they could salvage something. We haven't seen one in a while, but it's enough to take the fights. 2 dead, but more importantly, whole set of racks gone.
It's funny you mention that. It's like there hasn't been a Ravage so long. I felt like 5ManMidas like, yeah, we got him. The Chemical Rage is down. Let's take a fight. But yeah, then you remember, oh wait, there's all these other heroes that, you know, whether it's DNM's Monkey King or Moose Tide, who have just been silently doing their job, but not really taking fights because no fights have come. And Sadboys more than happy to oblige 5ManMidas if they finally choose to take a fight.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This lead just continues to grow. 15,000, almost all of that is on Fear, who now just found another hero to blow up. It's going to be DNM that takes the final kill, but really hard to do anything for this Alchemist at this point. It's got Titan Sliver. I mean, I think that you've got to be like prepped for this. Because it just looks good.
Yeah, and Fear seems to be doing the same build every time, so he has a very clear idea of how to play the hero that, from what we've seen, has worked kind of every time. I think I'd be curious to see how it looks in a game that feels a bit more even, because I think the strength of this Alch build is a risk when Fear is pushing high ground with Chemical Rage and these items because of all the health regen. But in a scenario where the other team is not that far behind, and let's say Jug was more farmed, I think you can threaten to kill this out when he doesn't have BKB.
It's fair, yeah. And I think that, you know, there's, well, another smoke up now as they're heading over towards the Roche pit. Maybe one last hurrah.
Oh, Monster, unlucky.
Away. And the tombstone's down now. Gotta run away. Tries to back out. Veno ulti goes out onto 3, but it's just tickling him at this point. They do find Sneyking. That's gonna be 1 kill. Inside that Monkey King ulti, nobody is really wanting to go in there from 5ManMidas. Aikster tries to run away from them. Another jump in coming from RL. Lies nearby as well. They do have Omni Slash, but Moo also has Ravage back up in 9. Monster getting chased around. They're trying to go in the sneak rush themselves. There's no way. Yeah, they're gonna kill Monster here, unless the rest of the team can get there in time.
Can they kill Fear here?
This would be huge. Omni Slash solo onto him, trying to spin him down. Fear is gonna drop.
Is under attack.
Oh my God, they got Fear.
Regeneration.
Wow, so they lose Monster. The Sadboys team was chasing Monster, and while that's going on, Fear is just kind of, I think he was worried about them sneaking into Roshan, like you said, but he was completely on his own, and Jug just slices him up. That's the thing, this Alch is not unkillable.
Right. Oh, gotta be careful here. They're getting a little bit antsy on the side of Sadboys, but Sneyking has that Lotus Orb from on high, keeps them safe. They do have Ravage available, gonna throw it out in the Finger of Death, and I just gave RRL the treatment.
Yeah, totally fine. It's, you know, you're not looking to fight right now without deaths, and they're probably, oh, I guess it may come to bite them in the ass if, I don't think Dire Side can Roche even with Ravage down, so it just means Sadboys are gonna have to wait for Ravage before they probably go for a Roche play.
Right.
But yeah, very good move from 5ManMidas to contest that Roche, find the Alch isolated, see if they can come to Roche a second time to contest it, because right now Sadboys are trying to set themselves up to grab that one by taking the enemy outpost.
And you know, I can't help but think like how different this might have gone if Fear had like that plate mail first instead of the Hyperstone, you know? Like that Omni Slash maybe doesn't do quite enough damage to take him out or something along those lines. It's the one avenue that I feel like they've got on 5ManMidas is this like very slim window. They did just also find an Orb of Destruction as Moo chases in. And they take the Aegis. Now looking to chase this down. Shu in trouble. Puck's gonna get the blink away as well, or the jaunt away rather. They're gonna have to reset.
Yeah, now we'll see Sadboys probably rinse repeat what we saw bottom, which is the Fear high ground sieging Alchemist with the Chemical Rage. They give the Aegis to DNM. I mean, Fear's kind of slot limited is really the main problem here. And also, you know, Fear, right, if he has his teammates with him and they're sieging high ground, I think he is unkillable. It's just scenarios where he's isolated that they do have the damage to bring him down.
Right. Ooh, Sneyking. Oh my God. Glimmer Cape keeps him alive for a moment. Force Staff tries to back away. Invis, not gonna happen. Rolling afterwards, in a bit too far. Now Omni Slash, he's solo on a Sneyking. That is a lot of resources expended.
Yeah, didn't find any bounce targets nearby, unfortunately. So now, possible window. Ravage is up in 10 seconds time, so...
Almost gonna have that Swift Blink dung on Lies, and then has the Rapier queued up next, which feels like it is the main avenue, but will he be able to get there? Can he get the farm in time? Sort of a different story.
Through with the Ag Shard Tide. Get some Anchor Smash on a building.
Okay.
He's high ground sieging with Fear, so he's just gonna be able to chuck those Anchor Smashes out.
Swift Blink, done now. 90 seconds still until Omni though. This is an impossible hold. Like, how do you even fight this? Spear gonna connect onto the Tide, but they still have that Ravage. Arena's back up in 15. the Witch's Blade, and then, you know, Chrysalis is nice to get the deny on the Rax. Well done.
We saw that last week. Then they got the double Rex deny. These guys love denying their own Rex. You know,
Many.
I'm disappointed. I thought, I was like, oh yeah, let's see this Anchor Smash on the tower, and then he just didn't use Anchor Smash. I was like, Moo, you get the Axe Shard, use the Anchor Smash, man. Come on.
Yeah. He gives him 90 extra damage too, reduces the cooldown.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, but yeah, I agree. Oh no. Oh, the heck, that can't happen. Ravage, every damn thing dropped on him, and no buyback. And I think that oh, what a frustrating way, I'm sure, to lose the game right there if that's how it ends up happening. Granted, it didn't all come down to that, but looking like the last set of racks most likely right here. Sphere just walks in, and I mean, he's got the cheese in his backpack afterwards. He's ready to go.
Dire's middle tower has
Maybe we'll get to see them deny another Rex or two.
There's a hope. The dream.
That's not a good set to lead.
Yeah, well, roll in, can't get the kickback afterwards to break the coil. They will blow up Aikster, and now taking the racks as well. GG is the call, as Sadboys take game number 1 off the back of a really strong Alchemist pick and play by fear, and overall just a solid performance by them.
Yeah, very convincing stuff, and I think this is a good sign for Sadboys that they can just show up, play some very solid mechanical